Good morning, DragonCon, and welcome to the increasingly ironically named Late Show. Like the Final Fantasy, it is not actually what is promised on the tin. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Grenade. Thank you for joining us here on this parade day. I am joined by Angel of Azarath.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello. It's so fun to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. It's still really early. Thank you for being here, being in complete cosplay.
Go hard. It's DragonCon, you know?
This is, yes, turned up to 11.
Yeah, turn it up to 11. Yes, go big, go home, you know?
Tell us a little bit about your cosplay.
So this is like one of my main cosplays. It's my Twi'lek Star Wars character. I do a lot of TikToks on Instagram, Facebook, belly dancer too. So, you know, that's why you gotta have the coins, you know what I'm saying? So this is like I made this cosplay for DragonCon.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I want a character that I can just wear that's really fun, that's really recognizable, and then I can just go wherever, go to parties and stuff, and have something I can dance in.
Nice.
And so I was like, I'm going to do a Twi'lek. And then, like, everyone's like, this is my new favorite cosplay. And so now I'm kind of like, it's my thing now.
How long does the body paint take?
So
Is the answer too long? It seems like it would be too long.
The answer is always too long.
Of course.
It was about 2 hours yesterday, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not getting up at 4 this morning. So I slept in this, and then it was like
So you literally woke up like this?
I woke up like this.
Nice.
There's a little more splotchy when I woke up, but I did wake up like this, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
you have
you.
been on a number of things, including DragonCon Goes Virtual. We're very glad to have you back.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
We are also joined this morning by Katie McKenzie from Open Hand Atlanta. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is also very early for you to be here, and you're doing the parade. I hear there's
That
a
it is.
parade happening.
There is a parade happening. We're going to be a part of it. It's going to be exciting.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about Open Hand Atlanta for folks who aren't as familiar with your charity.
Sure. So Open Hand Atlanta is one of the largest community-based providers of home-delivered meals and nutrition in the United States. So we are quite an operation. We serve nearly 5,000 meals a day. We package and
Wow.
produce out of our Midtown Atlanta kitchen, just right up the street. And so we are getting these meals to those who are living with critical or chronic illness, disability, who are too sick or unable due to mobility issues to cook for themselves, and the majority of who live well below the poverty line. So the folks, you know, who are choosing between their light bill and their medication and their food, we don't ever want them to have to wonder where their next meal is coming from, and that's where Open Hand comes in.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And all
thank
the
you.
money raised for charity over the weekend will be going to your organization. And you just talked a little bit about what that money will do to benefit the community here in Atlanta. What is your role in Open Hand?
So my role as Director of Development is to raise the critical funds that it takes to fulfill our mission in the community. All of our meals are delivered free of charge to our clients, so absolutely free. So without community and philanthropic support of both donors who volunteer their resources, you all supporting us here at DragonCon as a charity partner, and our wonderful volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers, nearly 14,000 volunteers a year, help
Wow.
us deliver these meals in their own vehicles using their own gas. That helps everything really happen and makes it possible. And this year in particular, you know, everybody's noticed the rising prices, cost of gas, cost of food. For us, over the last 2 years alone, food costs have increased by 28%.
Wow.
And so that is a major impact on, you know, our operating funds and what we can do. So the support that we get from the community, from the wonderful people at DragonCon being the charity partner this year, we really rely on that to make sure that we can continue to fulfill our mission throughout the community and the state. We ship meals statewide as well. So we're just so thrilled to be a small part of what's going on here this weekend, all the excitement, and to benefit from the wonderful generosity of all the con attendees and teach everyone a little bit more about Open Hand.
That is remarkable. I love that y'all are helping out with food uncertainty and with people who are
Right.
having to make those incredibly hard choices. I'm curious how the organization has evolved over time. You know, I assume you didn't start with that level of food deliveries.
We did not. In fact, I love telling our story because it's such an incredible story. You know, we always say, you know, the biggest ingredient in what we do still today is love, because how we started was a gentleman, late 80s, HIV and AIDS was new on the scene. People didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what was happening. And his friends and people he knew were dying. And he said, what can I do? This was also a time when people not knowing what AIDS was, almost didn't even want to have anything to do with those who were affected, right? But this wonderful man, our founder, his name is Michael Edwards Pruitt, he said, what can I do to do my small part to make this better? And he just started cooking for about 14 of his friends who had AIDS and HIV, and it grew from there. So he gathered a few more friends. We moved into a church basement to use their kitchen for a while. It continued to grow, and now we are at the scale where we are now. And we do serve more than just HIV/AIDS patients. Thankfully, that's no longer the death sentence that it once was. We still have a lot of those who are living with AIDS that we do serve, but we now serve anyone living with a critical or chronic illness, so heart disease, renal failure, diabetes. Anything like that, cancer, where they need specific nutrition to help them manage their disease. But it's just really an incredible story that it started with this one act of love from this man who just wanted to make things a little more bearable for his friends who unfortunately did succumb to the disease. But to where we are now, we want to offer people hope, we want to offer them love, and that's what we do at Open Hand.
That is awesome. And that is such a great cause. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us information about Open Hand.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us, and thank you to everyone here at DragonCon for supporting Open Hand and your wonderful generosity. We're just thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're super grateful to have you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a parade to get to soon,
I do have a parade to get to, yes. So you will see me marching down the street. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we're going to turn now to a video segment of one of actually my favorite things that DragonCon does, which is wrestling. I started out on Tech Ops moving things around, and wrestling was both loved and hated, trying to set up that ring.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very heavy.
I can believe it.
But the results are so worth it. Let's see some of those recent results now.
Me and Michael Keane here at DCW, DragonCon Wrestling, celebrating 20 years. That's 20 years of big sweaty people knocking other big sweaty people onto the squared circle, which, let's be honest, you can't really square a circle. That's dumb. But anyway, here at DCW, we're going to be talking to some hip wrestlers, mostly replaced hips, I assume, because 20 years, that's going to really ding up the old works.
Says my name on my ass. Would you like me to show it again?
Okay, let's see here. Goodness gracious, there we go. That's a lower thirds for you.
Big headbutt there by the Blue World Order, but as I like to call them, the Boo World Order.
Look at that, it's an arm.
That's a python, brother.
All right, well, you should definitely open a reptile store.
Sweet, nobody home. Oh, back elbow. That was beefy.
I believe this is year number 11.
Wow, 11. So over half of DCW's existence, you've been here. Can you remember any of your greatest moments?
When I won the DragonCon Wrestling Light Heavyweight Championship, for sure. Wrestling for the DragonCon Cup. And, of course, tonight will be one of the highlights, of course.
Somebody call United. Pack your bags. You're about to fly, buddy.
Oh, jeez.
I'm dizzy after watching that at this point.
You won the something or another last year, something inconsequential. I can't quite remember.
Last year, I was inducted into the DCW Hall of Fame, and after the match where I took 402 pounds of man-child, put him on his face and pinned him, you and I had a few crosswords, but look, I'm willing to be bygones. Be bygones.
Oh, gentlemen.
But we're all here for a good time, and DragonCon Wrestling is always a good time.
Yeah.
is my buddy. It's my pal. Yep. Hey, you have a good night. You too. It's gonna be a badass weekend.
A lot of vaping. I assume that is of the nicotine variety. Otherwise, we would have some very serious problems.
Of course, I would never. The
Is that a juicy fruit I smell?
It's called Pineapple Express, ironically.
When they get in the ring, you expect nothing but... Oh, shit, look at that giant rat. Do they just let those just wander around here?
The first plan is to move DragonCon out of DragonCon Wrestling.
Are we on?
People don't understand that when you're rich and you lose, you don't really lose. You just find a different way to win. He doesn't want to sell me the company anymore. Fine. I'll be taking over one wrestler at a time.
There it is.
That's it.
Count 1, 2, 3.
Yes, it is a bell.
The winner of this match, Crystal Rose.
What happened tonight was, yeah, I got a big cup, but I also got jumped by two spineless, overly-less bitches. So what about that?
Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to beep at least one of those words.
Yeah, maybe just one or two. You and your old ass mama, bitch, you got a match. I'll see you next DragonCon. Bring it on!
So, could you do a power up for me? So, how many of these guys you see naked?
As many as we can, honey. Mwah.
So, like, you know, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea because here's the thing. You're great. You're great. I mean, obviously times are hard, but like, you're great.
There is a culture that is unique to DragonCon Wrestling. It is the heart and soul of what AJ has made. This is, no, I'm against it. I think the selling is horrible. No idea.
Oh,
Bad.
who needs heart and soul? Have you seen Warner Brothers? No one needs heart and soul.
Uno más.
Okay.
We were bestowed upon the honor of being inducted into the DragonCon Wrestling Hall of Fame. It's dope, man. It's pretty cool.
It's great. As a tag team, also, we were inducted, which is
we didn't
awesome.
know. It was a surprise. I you know.
Oh!
Hey! No! No! Not like that!
And again, the check cleared. Slim J.
Come on!
You should have signed the contract. And now look what I have.
You know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe money isn't the most important thing in the world. You know what? Even though I've turned around and become a good guy again, I'm still getting in that ring. Gosh, dang it. So what happened out there, bud?
It don't matter what happened. That's the reason. That's all that matters. Money makes the world go round. Next year, you can see the same stuff. Slim J whooping the ass. Buster.
I don't think we can say that word on DC. Oh, who cares? Me and Michael Keane. Signing off. DCW 20 years, whatever.
When we announced DCTV does stuff, I didn't know that was going to include body slams, and I would like to re-look at my contract.
I'm down for it. That was awesome.
You could literally be down for that.
I would be down for it.
Awesome.
You guys can reach out to me anytime. Angel Vazareth on Instagram. Thank you.
Awesome. So our friends, the Knights who are participating in the Dragons Cup Melee, would like to invite you to come and watch them duel if you want to go from body slams to big swords.
Big swords.
So they are doing the Middle Ages practice of Buhurt in times of peace, which is a sport that faded away and now has come back here in the 21st century, where fighters from all walks of life and across the world put on actual armor and swords and carry. They're blunted for safety, but they are using actual swords, axes, and other weaponry, and fight to see who will be best in the lists.
Oh my gosh.
So you can go down today, Saturday, from 11 to 6 p.m. in the Sheraton Grand Ballroom to see the Knights battle it out.
Ooh. Oh, wow. And speaking of other things to do, the Temporal Ball will be at the Sheraton Grand Ballroom on Sunday the 4th. There will be dance lessons at 8:30. I'm down for that. I'll be there. And the ball itself will start right after at 10 p.m. This year's theme is Art Decadence, and we would like to thank Jason Morrill from Blackbird Finery for his organizing excellence.
Excellent.
And speaking of costumes and balls and fun events, for a wacky evening of clever costuming, you need to check out the Cults of DragonCon Costume Contest. It's at 7 p.m. tonight at the Sheraton Grand Ballroom, and that is something I'm very much looking forward to.
I love that we have ended up not only with Colts, but now cosplay Colts.
And I brought some people, this is their first DragonCon, and I was like, let me introduce to you the Cult of John, because that one, it just has a special place in my heart. I was getting to experience that in 2019 for the first time.
Deep into your heart.
Deep into my heart. John is under his googly eye, as they say.
So, speaking of cosplay, we have another guest this morning, and it is the Yarn Goddess. They crochet their cosplay, which is just remarkable.
Absolutely incredible.
We're so glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh, we're super excited to have you. So what got you into crocheting your cosplays?
Oddly enough, I tried cosplay in 2010, and DragonCon was my first convention. And I remember trying to sew, and it just wasn't sticking. And as much as I kept trying, I saw a Belle cosplayer, like the ball gown, the giant gold ball gown.
Oh, wow.
And she told me she hand sewed it. And at that moment, I realized I wasn't a sewer. So I just called it quits. And oddly enough, about 4 years later at Anime Week in Atlanta, one of my friends was like, hey, you should try crocheting yourself because you crochet. And I was like, no one crochets your cosplays. Wait, no one. No, you're right.
The little light bulb goes on.
Let me go ahead. So I started doing that, and it just kind of took off because everyone was like, oh my God, I've never seen it before. And I'm just like, yeah. I can't sew, but I can crochet.
Yeah, I've never seen it before, but it looks absolutely incredible. This is my new favorite thing.
Yeah, my partner crochets, and I have seen how much time can go into that. So how long does it take you to put your outfits together?
It depends. Honestly, it depends on the convention, the inspiration, and the mania. Because if I am inspired a week before the convention, I can whip out an outfit in 24 to 14 hours. If I'm inspired a month before the convention, I will take my time and get it done within the month. Like this outfit in particular that I'm wearing, my Nurse Joy, took me about 3 months, and that's because I moved in between. But I literally had the base done and the apron got done in 1 day because I was like, you know what, let me finish this. And then, boop, overnight, Lord of the Rings later, I have Nurse Joy.
Oh, wow. I tried to crochet once. I got about an inch worth in, and also I can't do this anymore. That is incredible skill right there.
Very much so.
So I heard this is your business now. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah. So in 2016, I got laid off from my big girl job. And I remember that my outfits were getting traction on social media, and a lot of people were asking, do you sell anything? Do you make custom orders, et cetera, et cetera? And I kept saying no. And then in 2016, I was like, all right, you guys have been asking, so now the answer is yes. And now this is going into my 8th year of being a full-time content creator, making outfits for myself and other people.
That is so awesome.
I have made so much things. I think I crocheted an Ursula dress at one point. I usually have a vendor booth or an artist alley, and I have all my merchandise with me. I have an artist that commissioned to make stickers for me for all my outfits, so they can have that kind of piece of the cosplay with them.
Wow.
It was never on purpose. It just kind of snowballed, and it is my passion, and I really love it, and it brings me joy. It brings me some frustration because I don't know why the yarn does what it does, because there's this thing where like you'll pull the yarn out from the middle and it'll just explode into your lap. And so I'm thinking, cool, I'm going to crochet for next and I'm detangling for next hour.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Right.
I think that's why I ended up quitting my little crochet adventure.
No, I have considered. I was like, you know what? This is the one. This one right here, I'm done.
You're like, I regret my life choices.
It's the cosplay way, though. If you're not frustrated to cry at least once per cosplay, like that's just the standard at this point.
Oh,
Fun
yeah.
times. So speaking of social media, where can we follow you on social
You
media?
can follow me all over social media. I'm most active on Instagram and Facebook. I do have a TikTok. I also have a Twitter. Twitter is the most chaotic one. So 18 plus only, please. And yeah, I think I also have like a website. If you go under ygcosplay.com, you'll see all my stuff and all my wares.
Awesome. Oh, well, I'll have to check it out for myself. Thank you so much for being here. This is one of the coolest things I've seen all weekend.
Can I do one more shout out? Because like,
go for it.
One thing about like, I've been solely inspiring people, and there's a crocheter named Fairy Boy Crochet, and they crocheted me this doll, and they said, hey, I want to crochet you a Nurse Joy doll. They did not tell me they were turning me into a crochet doll. When I received this in the mail, I cried. I went on Instagram Live. It was just the sweetest thing ever, but like, it's just a really amazing kind of affirmation that what I'm doing does matter. Other crocheters are getting into it, and I was able to receive this doll for free because they just love what I do.
Oh, that is so
wonderful.
Cool. That was awesome.
What a great tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah. I told them I was going to be on here, and I was like, I'm bringing your doll. I'm your unofficial ambassador. Y'all check out Fairy Boy. Like.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us and bringing your amazing talent onto the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Very glad to have you. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are.
So I'd also like to tell you about the book and art auction that is today, Saturday at 11:30 a.m., so coming up soon. You can stop by for a lot of signed books by various authors, original art prints, gift certificates for writing workshops, and plenty more. So check that out in the app and head on down for that.
Okay. And you can also, if you can give blood, please do it at the DragonCon blood drive at the Hyatt. The need is great, and you get a free t-shirt. I did see these t-shirts earlier, can confirm.
Metal AF.
It's super awesome. Very tempted myself. I don't know if they'll take orange blood, but I'm down. You can even make an appointment online to save time and get a free pin. So there's just endless goodies here, and it's a great cause. You should do it. And don't forget that you have until midnight to vote in the DragonCon Awards. That's DragonCon's Literary and Sci-Fi Media Awards. Help your fellow fans know what is best in each category this year.
Well, we are almost at the end of our broadcast time because the parade is bearing down on us. I guess, marching this way.
There are quite some people outside.
It is.
Look at all these people getting up early. Respect.
We appreciate those of you who tuned in to see us so early. So you may have heard this is the 20th year of DCTV, which is a number that is on my shirt and yet still astounds me. I showed up a couple of years after it started, writing a lot of bumpers. There was the one weekend where I wrote 35 bumpers and produced them, and then fell face down on a bed and showed up in some skits, mainly because I had the two skills that were required. One, proximity to Brian Richardson and his camera, and two, no sense of shame. It will turn out as a surprise to those of you who have seen my sketches that I actually do have a degree in acting that I used to do this.
My goodness.
Yes, including parodies of Blue's Clues and others.
That is top tier fashion
because
right there.
I watched a whole lot of Blue's Clues at one
I
point.
did too, but when DragonConTV started, I was also 4, so
Yes.
it made sense at the time to watch a lot of Blue's Clues.
So
oh my goodness.
it has been just an incredible thing. I love that it has grown into this amazing organization that does things like live broadcasts of the parade and does amazing sketches. I am incredibly honored to have been a small part of that, and I'm so pleased that I get to occasionally come and do more of this.
Yeah, that is awesome.
When I realized that people were specifically coming to watch DCTV, they're like, I set up in my hotel room and I turn it on and I watch the new sketches. I watch the new stuff that people have done. And there are so many talented people who are writing and filming and acting in these things. It is such a wonderful part of the con. And I think one of the things that makes DragonCon unique and special. among cons. Thank you all for joining us on this journey. So, for Angel, for me, Stephen, thank you so much for coming up early. The parade is up next. Please enjoy.
Enjoy.